cheesesteak, you need steakums, white cheese, fresh bread, mayonnaise. You're gonna need Heinz ketchup, not Hunt's, not ketchup, Heinz ketchup. Dice you up some onions, cut them up nice and fine into like little cubes, like, you know, no long onion pieces on your cheesesteak. You want them to be diced up. Trust me, it's gonna look gooder later. So you keep going on, oil up your little griddle iron real good. Make sure that it's nice and glistening. Make sure it's glistening. All right, there you go. Now, time to add the steakum. Now, when you add your steakum, what you want to do is you want to like break it up into little bits and just throw them on the griddle iron. Just take your time. You got to use steakum, people. You're going to hear a lot of things about people using all kinds of sirloin cuts and all this crazy stuff. Look, this is a working man sandwich. You just use steakum. Keep it simple. You just keep breaking it up. You make a big mountain. Now this is a box of 21 steakums, and it's going to make about 4 to 5 cheesesteak sandwiches. So these sandwiches are something you can make in a hurry for like a lot of people. Like, you shouldn't be taking a long time to make a cheesesteak. If you are, you probably doing something wrong. You know, look at how, I mean, really, it take me about 15 minutes altogether to make 4 cheesesteaks. So there it is, your big mountain. Now what you want to do is, once you got your big mountain all broken up, all nice like, take your spatula and just start breaking it up even further right while it's cooking. Just start dicing it up, turning it almost like mush. That's what makes the cheesesteak so soft and delicious. This is very important. You gotta just constantly be moving the cheesesteak around. It's almost like some kind of stir fry. So you just keep hooking it up. And this is the way that you will see a cheesesteak made in Philadelphia. This is it. You know, a lot of people make cheesesteak, but this is how you make a Philadelphia cheesesteak. Take your spatula and you just cutting it up. You just cutting it up. If you went into a Italian store or to a hood store, this is how they would make it. The Explorer's Den, Max's, this is how they be making cheesesteak. This is how I learned, by looking over the counter and watching them. So you just take your diced onions, you dump it. It kind of look like some kind of, it's like organization, you know? You can't just have craziness going on your griddle. You got your cheesesteak on one side, your onions on the other. You just keep dicing it. I don't like to mix onions with raw meat, so I make sure my meat is nice and brown before I combine them. But once your meat get nice and brown, it don't have to be perfect, but it's closer to brown than pink, then you just kind of want to mix them together, you know? Just mix them right on up. This will make the perfect mixture of the chopped up onions, fried onions, and the cheesesteak per square centimeter or whatever. So you just keep mixing it up. You still browning it, but you know, now you coming towards the final stages of making your cheesesteak. Doesn't it look just delicious? So what you do now is you want to start to form out where the cheesesteaks are going to be. So you make, I know that this 21 pack make about 4, so I want to just make 4 little lines, kind of line up my cheesesteak meat so I can get ready to put on the cheese and the fresh bread. So as you see, I'm just lining it up. Cheesesteak number 3. It kind of still look like a mess, but you can see the sandwich is starting to form. All right. So now that I got this all hooked up, as you can see, kind of hook that up, and I'm making it fast. This take about 15 minutes. This fast, not quite this fast, but it is fast, you know. So then I just take my cheese, my American singles, that's it, not Swiss or provolone, all that stuff. I don't deal with Whiz cheese. I just use American cheese, and I find it pleasurable to put it down in a diagonal pattern. Don't ask me why, but it really does add to the cheesesteak, the way that you position the cheese. This is why it's so difficult to capture. It's so difficult for out-of-towners because they don't pay attention to the details. Now you just take your fresh bread, you slice it right up the gut, and you open it. You open it just like a lady. No, I'm just kidding. You open up the cheesesteak and you just take a big, I don't even know what this is, a Kool-Aid mixer. I don't know what this thing is. You scoop it out and you just splatter it right all over there. Lots of mayonnaise. Because the mayonnaise, you just lay it over, and And while the bread is sitting up there, the mayonnaise, the cheese, and the meat, they all becoming all mixed and intertwined. That's what makes such a great sandwich. So then, once it, they melted a little bit, let them out there for like 3 minutes. Just flip them on over. Boom. Perfect Philly cheesesteak number 1. Flip it over. Boom. Perfect Philly cheesesteak number 2. I'm gonna come right off the grill. Just like it's already, this is a complete cheesesteak. Boom. And the last one is the tastiest looking one. Shlomp. Just put that right there. That's good cheesesteak. So there it is, Philly cheesesteak. Now you want your seasoning for a cheesesteak to sit on top. So after you've done all that, you add your ketchup, your pepper, or whatever. And that's it. That's the cheesesteak.